Good day everybody and welcome back to the Neo-Gothic Victorian house Let's Build, and you guessed it, today we're inside. I've taken the liberty of putting in the ceiling, which is just quartz, and also the entire floor for the second floor up here, and also all the walls as well, off camera, because A, I cheated and used MC Edit, and B, if I did it by hand that would be incredibly tedious and boring, and you would probably fall into a coma just from watching it. Anyway, that aside, grab some quartz because it's going to be time to do the layout. So, where do we start? Well, I think the nice place to start is the staircase. That's where I start with my builds mostly. The staircase is 3 blocks wide, and it is 3 blocks from the front of your house here, so count 3 in. So it'll be here. Even better, mark it with some actual stairs, and the banister rail will be here, like so. Now this block here is important because it also gives us where the door is for the living room, which is here. And of course we're working with double thickness walls here, so we'll just do this, like so. And then the door is 2 wide, and then it's 6 blocks here, like so, and we stop there, and then it's 1 block gap here before we put in another double thickness wall in here. Now this divides your house neatly into 2 areas: your large dining area and a somewhat cozy-ish living space. Now how wide you actually make the entrance here is completely up to you. So let's see, is there a middle block? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's going to be in the middle 2, isn't it? So we can do that, and there's 4 on either side. How about we go with, that's 2, that looks slightly too narrow. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's about right, I think. Honestly, I don't really think we need anything more than that. That's okay. Now you might be wondering why I've got these clays in my inventory. Well, it's because, shock of shocks, I'm going to be putting in the sort of colour of the walls. Now this layout of this house is very tricky, and I'm trying to memorise it off by heart, and currently I am failing miserably. But one thing I can be fairly certain of is the colour of the living room. The colour of the living room is green, and you want to place the clay blocks where I do. So here, along the corners like such. You don't really have to do the corners, but honestly, because they won't be seen. But basically just do these walls. Basically do the walls as well. This just cover this entire thing in clay. Fill that in, obviously. I'm not going to do it because I don't have time here in this episode. And in here as well, like this. Oh, good grief. Not sure why I filled that in entirely. Oh dear. Entirely here. I'm going to leave that like that. There we go. Right. That. Oh, of course, we're going to go across the top here. Actually, no, we don't need to go across the top here because that's a perk of this house. It's got some very strange quirks, this house. The dark grey stained clay is for the entrance hall in here, so we're going to just sort of do this as well. This is a very thorough guide, this is. We're actually going to miss off that bit here. In fact, we're only going to do this 3 because I've just remembered that my the door frames in this are very elaborate, and that we're going to need to address that. So what you want to do is place quartz pillars pretty much on either side. We'll just delete this for now, just to remind myself. I'm not actually sure where the quartz pillars go in this section here. I'm just going to assume. I've sort of assumed that it's this wide. It might not be. If it isn't, I'm going to look like a bit of an idiot. But then again, I look like a bit of an idiot most of the time, so that's okay. This section here, I think it's 2 like this, to the best of my knowledge. You can tell I know my house really well. In fact, actually, I think what you should do is do this with the staircase. Oh dear. Whoops. We'll just punch through this because it's rubbish and it sucks. And just stick some clay in here to remind you what colour you need to do up the stairs. This is gonna be this is gonna look very disjointed for a while. I will warn you now. It's going to look incredibly disjointed for a little bit, but hopefully by the end of the episode, everything should have come together. Now, the kitchen and the dining room are all one colour, I believe. I believe it's light grey stained clay. I believe. Cool. Careful to leave this bit here alone. Like this. I'm not sure what the hell happened here. I think there's only one here. Because there's a... Honestly, I need to check. I need to check the original build, so I'll be right back. Sorry. Alright, I made a pretty glaring omission. At the bottom of every wall, the colour doesn't go to the ground. There's actually a layer of quartz under each bit. I'm terribly sorry about this, but it completely escaped my mind because it was an addition that was made very late into the original Let's Build original build, and it completely just left my mind entirely. On the other hand, it doesn't look bad actually without them, so it wouldn't be a disaster. Just get rid of this for now. How could I forget something like that? Also, the quartz on this corner, I checked, it doesn't exist. So, replace that like that. And then add in your colour. Oh dear, we're going to have to replace all this as well. Oh. Yeah, just know that this bottom bit should be quartz. We can do it for this section here because it's fairly easy. This section here gets a bit tricky, but I think it was just I just built around it like this with the squares like that. I think that's how it was done. Let's face it, it doesn't look too bad, does it? Yeah, I'm thinking that's how it was done. I mean, it doesn't look too different. I mean, what you could do, you could be a lot more elaborate than this. You could have a let's get rid of this a minute. You could have this entire section as quartz and carry on the stairs. So what I mean is doing something like this. So you have the stairs like that, and then you have like a quartz archway here. But either way, you still have to use these squares, the square sort of edges. Tell you what, we'll keep that for now. We'll keep that in there. Keep this in there. We'll keep that in there. More quartz around the edge, around the bottom here, like this. Just covering up the window like that. And same thing here, although this side is where the kitchen's going to go, so it's not too vital what colour this is. And oh, I've gone a bit too far here. And this here, this is another wall. It's directly opposite the two quartz pillars you placed here. On this side, let's just put the quartz in a minute. On this side, it is the dark grey from the lobby, like so. And on this side, it is the light grey from the kitchen. Now then, let's get this glowstone out of the way. The glowstone's only in to stop bats spawning. Now, with each entrance, you're going to need to do a little bit of work. Because let's face it, it doesn't look very good at the moment. So, you want to build up 4. Like this. You want to place quartz on the 5th, horizontal quartz pillars like this, and then you've got a little gap at the top here, and we'll put some quartz pillars there, but it doesn't actually matter. And this is where you're actually going to need the glowstone. So grab some glowstone and just fill this area with glowstone. Then upside down stairs, correct stairs, and I don't have them here, but you're going to need some slabs. What can we replace? We can place the bricks. We're working inside here, aren't we? So we shouldn't need it. And then you want to place them slabs like that, and then you get some trapdoors and put them over there. I can't be bothered to do that now. And it's basically the same on this side as well. And you do that for every door. So this one here, let's get rid of this. I'll only do one side as an example. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Place your quartz block. Place your quartz block. And you can place 2 if you want. Actually, I think that's going to be more understandable. Horizontal quartz again. Stair, 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 stair. And then fill this with however much glowstone you deem is necessary. I think I went with... what did I go with? I forget now what I went with. It must have been... Yeah, it must have been something like that. I think I went with that combination there. And of course, don't forget your slabs. Like so. That corner looks a little bit messy, but I disguised it in the other build with a bit of... You could actually modify this. You could just have a slab in here. Or something like that, just to make it look less sort of cumbersome. I forget what I did in the original Let's Build. It was probably something really rubbish. In fact, should we go and have a look? I'll tell you what, let's go and have a look at this very corner and see what I did. I keep saying original Let's Build. It wasn't. It's not the original Let's Build. Did I keep it? Yes, I did keep it. Well, I never noticed that. By the way, this is why you need a big dining room. It's because you've got a stupid 10-seat table, which is highly gratuitous, and no one's ever going to have that many people around for dinner. Certainly not me, anyway. Not with my food issues. Anyway, let's just get rid of that. Let's tell that to go away, and let's get back to the job in hand here. Repeat this on the other side, obviously with the grey stained clay instead of the green on this side. Don't forget to build up the walls as well. Oh dear. Like this. This build is so incoherent, it's not even funny. I do apologise. Over here, on this side, this is the only one that differs in any way at all. On this side, oh dear, like this, it's the same. It's exactly this, oh dear. Exactly the same, so let's just do this. But you might have already seen it. We're going to hit the stairs. And that is a bit problematic because that means we can't put in the stairs as usual. So like I say, on this side, it's business as usual, like this. And we have our glowstone in here. On this side, we've got our quartz here like this. We have our glowstone, but instead of any stairs, it's simply just a matter of 2 slabs like that. And put the trapdoors on. You're getting pretty close to being done with the downstairs if you've filled in all the clay space like this. I advise only filling in the clay up to the height of the ceiling for now, because it's going to get a little bit messy when we do the layout for the second floor. I was hoping to get the layout done in one swoop, but clearly that's not going to be possible. Also, this gap needs to be here. Doesn't matter how big it is, it's just because the stairs sort of overlap into the kitchen. And remember to fill this wall up as well. I'm pretty sure you've done that already. If you have MC Edit, use that. If you've got World Edit, use that. Because let's face it, placing that many blocks is truly cumbersome. But yeah, that's the layout of the downstairs done. I could go on to the upstairs layout quickly, but that would require me to complete the stairs. So let's just put the stairs in with quartz temporarily. The banister rail itself will get done at a later date because it's part of the furniture section, which is going to be a complete laugh to do. Of course, when I say complete laugh, I mean unbelievable torture. We are lagging quite a bit. Our FPS is down to half, so I think this is a good place to take a break for me and check out what the layout of the upstairs, second floor actually is. Okay, we are back, and we're downstairs for a bit. This is because there's a little bit of a problem with the stairs. So from the front of the house, count 4 blocks, and then just delete. Delete everything. So delete the floor like this. Go over here and place that like that. And also you may want to get rid of this as well. And also the ceiling below, like such. Looks a bit weird, but all will be revealed later. 1, 2, 3, 4 from here. This is where your next set of stairs will be, so just mark them off like that. We're not concerned with them just at the moment. And because we're short on time, I've taken the liberty of marking out where the the layout is up here anyway. It's a very simple layout. It's basically 3 rooms, 1 big one and 2 smaller ones. That's the ceiling I've just put in there. And to do this, all we have to do is at the top of the staircase, 2 blocks, 2 blocks. And if you want to check that you've got it right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 should be how big the room is. 8 if you want to count the back of the house. No, not the back of the house. 9 if you want to count the back of the house. 8 if you want to count the thing here. And to divide these rooms into 2, all you need to do is build a double thickness wall here in this space here between the 2 windows. So you're leaving a 1 block gap either side of the window in this room and a no block gap to the windows in this room here. In terms of colour, this is the bathroom, so this will be blue stained clay like this. Lovely job. Let's just do this. Oh, not like that, remember, obviously. Do remember that this here is actually still the downstairs, and as such the colour scheme sort of follows it upstairs. Like this. And of course, but for now, don't bother with this wall. Just leave it like this. Concentrate your efforts on this instead. I'm just using this as a filler block. And it's the same design for doorways downstairs, except it's a little bit thinner. I've lost my quartz for some reason. We'll just use we'll just use slabs like this, honestly. I literally can't be bothered to find some quartz in my in the creative inventory. So there we go. Job done, and a trapdoor on there, and a slab like that. And the door for this room here is simply here, like this, and build the same design as you've done over there. In case you're wondering, the ceiling is going to sit nicely on top of this. And this room here is brown, provided by soul sand, which actually looks quite nice. I never thought I'd say that about brown. I don't really like the colour, but it's not bad. It is not bad at all. And this massive room here, it's got a couple of features that we need to be aware of. The first is a set of pillars. We're going to need some quartz now. Which are, well, I'm not precisely sure where they are. Your banister rail is going to be here. So they're 1, 2, I reckon they're going to be here. They're 2 wide, and they are 2 by 3. So they sit like this. And oh no, they don't sit here. It's 3 from the wall, and then it's a gap of 3, and it's another 3 here, and it's another 3 here. So basically you've got 2 massive pillars here. The corners are quartz pillars like this. Oh, rats. And these go all the way up to the ceiling height like this. Have I actually got this right? Have I got this like bang on up to the ceiling? I have as well. Praise the Lord, or praise whoever you worship. And at the top, glowstone, and this underneath, like this, in this arrangement here, like that. And it's full of the colour of the room, which for this instance, quite oddly, is sand. Don't ask me why I chose sand, but I think it's just because it was a fairly neutral colour. So this room is basically full of sand. Oh dear. So just fill this room with sand. Again, ignore this wall. I'll cover it when we do the staircase. Anyway, that's that. I think that's that for the layout. We'll go and take a look what it should look like with furniture, obviously, in the actual build. And I'm just going to say thank you for watching. If you're at all confused, just give me a comment. I'll try and sort out anything for you. But yeah, this is what it should look like. Ignore all the furniture in here. I know it's quite hard, but this is what it should look like. This is why I talk about ignoring the wall, because the colours are divided by where the stairs are. And yeah, so thank you for watching. It's about the millionth time I've said that. I have neglected these things here, but I consider that furniture, so I'll get onto that later. So I'm not going to say it again. Goodbye.